everyone, it's Lisa with Ink and Inspirations, and in this video I wanted to walk you through the process of creating this ornament that is much like this, like on the cover of the holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. This one is made with Halloween colors in the houndstooth and herringbone paper, but today I'm going to be using Candlelight Christmas that's also in the holiday catalog. So let's get started. First of all, you'll need these two framelits that are from the Ornament framelit collection. And I am using designer paper. Now there is this stamp, the Christmas ornament stamp, that you can use and stamp those on Very Vanilla and cut each of those out. But this is a quicker version using designer series paper. And I have found that my Big Shot will cut very cleanly through 2 layers of designer paper, sometimes 3, but on the 4th layer I get a little caught here at the top notch on this one. So I just cut mine 2 layers thick. You can experiment with your Big Shot and see how many layers it will cut through with the framelits, but for this video I'm going to talk about just using 2 layers. So what I did is I took a piece of 12 by 12 paper and I scored it at every 3 inches. That's this Candlelight Christmas. Then I cut mine in half, folded it in half, and then I ran it through the Big Shot 5 times on each sheet because you need 20 of each framelit. Okay, so that's 5 times 4 layers is 20. And then for this little guy, you need 20 as well. And so you just need 2 thicknesses. And I ran it through 10 times and got my 20 little ornaments. Okay, then what you want to do is take each of those ornaments, I say each of them, 3 of every 4, you want to group them in 4, and fold 3 in half right down the middle, okay? And then leave the 4th one in that group flat, okay? So we're going to put that together. I'm going to use Tombow for this part. I have my hot glue gun heated up, and I'm just going to put a little bit glue on the side here and match up, and 3 of these are going to be connected together just like this. Okay, and I kind of line those up, and then I like to put my glue here over the folds, and then I take the ornament that is still flat and just center that there, and when it opens up you get that really pretty fanned ornament. Okay, I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. I've already glued the other 4 ornaments together. Now here's the little guy, and so we're leaving 1 flat for every 4 and then having 3 folded in half, and we're going to do the same process. And just layer these together. Now when you're folding these, you want to put the print of your designer paper on the inside of the one that you want showing the most, because when it fans open, that is the color scheme you will see, or the print you will see. And then your little flat guy is going to be the same print that you folded up. So see, I have the Lucky Limeade there in the middle. And then I'm going to, forgot to put the glue on the back, put my glue here along the spine. Take this, turn it over, and apply down the center. Just like that. And I'm going to set that aside and let it dry. Okay, while my little ornaments are drying, I want to show you this centerpiece that we're going to be using. And it is the, I cut this from the rosette die, the big XL rosette die. And I cut it at 1 inch in width, and it's the 12-inch length of designer paper. And then you're just going to fan it up. And the easiest way to cut the rosette die I have found and get your pieces, your little fan-shaped pieces, your strips, is to cut the whole die. It's about almost, I cut my paper 6 inches wide, lay it over the whole die, and cut it out, and then line this up on my paper trimmer and line these edges up at the 1 inch, and then cut. Okay? So I'm going to fan these up. And then I've got my silicone sheet here, and I have my glue gun heating, and I'm going to put a little dab of of hot glue right there on the silicone, because it's going to pull right up. And I'm going to take the ends of this and dab it in, and that's going to hold that together where I can work with it. And then I'm just going to let it dry a bit. Okay, sometimes I get a little bit too much glue there, picking it off after it's cooled now. Don't do that if it's hot. Okay, and then I'm going to fan this around, and you see how it holds the edges together. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue right here and fold it up just like that. Okay, so there you have your little rosette. And then I like to back mine with a circle. So I have a 3/4 inch circle punched from Early Espresso. And I want the Early Espresso side of the designer paper up. So I'm going to put a little hot glue here. And then just set this down on top of it. And there I have my rosette. Okay, now we're going to start building the ornament, and I'm going to show you on my silicone pad. I have this hot glue here, and it's going to peel right up. So I'm going to get rid of that. And you're going to need a circle. This is a 1 3/4 inch circle in Early Espresso, and that's going to be the base of the ornament. And we're going to start with the largest ornament first. And I'm going to use hot glue and just swirl some around, and you can add more hot glue as you need. And you're just going to take and lay just the top edge on the circle, just the little hanger part where you would hang your ornament hanger, if that makes any sense. And then just go around touching the edges. Put some more glue. Just like that. Sometimes I want to get too far in, and you want those not too far toward the center. Just the little top notch there on the circle. This needs more glue, as you can see. I'm going to add some more here toward the edge. Okay, I'm going to press down on those. And you can see how it's coming together here. Okay. Now, to add a little pizzazz to it, I've got some pieces of crumb cake seam binding ribbon. I cut the seam binding ribbon I cut like 3 scallops long. I'm going to take it and fold it up and just scrunch it up together like that. Put some hot glue and attach a piece in between each of the ornaments. And the thing with this, if you get it and it's too long for your liking, you can go back and trim later, but this way you don't want to cut it too short. Okay, so count 3 scallops and cut, and then use those for your little embellishments. And be careful not to burn yourself. This would have looked pretty with the early espresso tool as well, but I didn't have any more of that, so I decided, well, this is a neutral. It'll work. Carefully going through and placing the tool at each intersection. And I'll finish this and be right back with you. Okay, now we're going to take these little guys, and I'm going to glue mine just above the tool, and you want them kind of sticking up like this, so we're going to glue them in place with the point of the bottom here going upwards at an angle. So let's do some hot glue, and I'll do each of those. And I'm going right over where I have each of the tool pieces. Putting a little bit of hot glue there at the base of the tool, and then attaching the smaller ornament piece. Can you imagine a tree full of these? I mean, it would take you a little bit of time, but talk about gorgeous. Even in a solid color, in like very vanilla. Oh, that would be pretty. And I could see embellishing it with some of our Victoria lace. I may have to think about, get busy doing some for my tree. Okay, so we have these little guys all in place. Okay, and I have mine above each of the pieces of tulle. Next, we're going to put the rosette embellishment on. I'm going to let that set just a little bit so I don't knock them out of place. But I'm going to put some hot glue here, and I'm also going to attach one of these faceted buttons, these vintage faceted buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And one of our large pearls looks beautiful in that, but I gave all mine to my daughter, and I have some on order, so you know how that goes. When I get them in, I'll put those in the middle. One right there, really pretty, just like on the cover of the holiday catalog. Okay, so now I'm going to take this. Those are setting pretty well. Put some hot glue on this circle back here. Put it in the center and kind of press down a little bit. Okay, now to mine, to add a little sparkle, I cut some thin strips of the real red glimmer paper, and I'm going to attach those much like I did here with the silver glimmer paper on the Halloween ornament. So what I do is I'm going to attach it there, and that's pretty blingy. I don't know if I'm going to like it, but I'm going to go with it. Okay, I'm going to cut and then put a little bit of hot glue on the tip. Oops. Thank goodness the hot glue peeled off, huh? And I'm going to stick it right there in the center, and then after those are good and set, I'm going to come back and trim it some. Okay, so I did not like the red on here, so I pulled all of those out, and I'm using my champagne glimmer paper, and I cut little pieces 1/4 inch wide, and then I just kind of flagged the ends with the little V there, and then I'm tucking those just right above the tulle, and it gives it just the right amount of sparkle for my liking anyway. Okay, so there we have all of our little sparkle in, and now for hanging, you need a hole punch. I'm just going to use my Crocodile, and you find where you want the top, and in this case, let's see, you can turn it, you know, you want one of these big ornaments on the top in the center, and I think I'm going to use this one right here, and then just come in, punch your hole in the center there through all those layers, and then I have a piece of Lucky Limeade twine that I'm just going to pull through and knot up here. And then I'm going to cut off this excess. Got everything sticking to my fingers. And there you have your ornament for your holiday decorations. So if you have any questions, email me at lisa@inkandinspirations.com. These really are a lot of fun to make. You can see that you can experiment with different papers, colors, use your stamp set, and just use different embellishments to create a one-of-a-kind creation. How pretty these would be on top of a gift too for someone special. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you need some help with it, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.